Excuse me? What is this? Huh. What's interesting. Wait. Oh, hello. Hello, you strange people in this device. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Do you all... If this is a broadcast in a Foundation site, then that would logically dictate that you all are some sort of staff of the SCP Foundation. Am I correct? And since I see all of you talking about my very fine hat, it seems that you all can perceive me, which is interesting, very interesting. Okay. Well, it's not like they'll be able to get me at this point, and I have things to still find here. All right. Welcome, accomplices, to today's scheme. Oh, you're all calling me Dr. Sherman. I see, that's who this is. Okay, this is starting to make more sense. I did need his security badge. I guess a bit of him rubbed off. Not to bring you guys in too deeply, but I was a woman 15 minutes ago. This is all very new to me, too. I love the hat. Well, thank you. Yes, I tend to do my missions very fashionably. I appreciate it. Oh, don't worry about Dr. Sherman. Dr. Sherman is just fine. Him and the rest of his staff are scuttling around the facility, cleaning up after a mess that doesn't exist. Don't worry. Everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. I'm not here to harm anybody at the Foundation. We often work together. Well, unwillingly on their behalf. But I am, at least at this point, trying to help. I'm not in his body. Don't worry, I am nobody important. Oh, it seems you're all donating to the site director? Well, that's an interesting... It's an interesting way to run internal Foundation meetings, but I guess if some questions are more important than others, you might put value on monetarily boosting them. To this bored as hell person. Pleased to meet you. Cool Man Fight. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. I mean, I guess I can answer these questions as long as it doesn't slow down what I'm doing here. That's a nice hat, Dr. Sherman. Again, not Dr. Sherman. Fuck it, I'm gonna call it a shapeshifter or like an O5 that's a shapeshifter. I mean, yes, one could describe me as that, but only because I don't have a shape in the first place. Just kind of rubbed off on whoever I'm nearby at the time. I believe that's from the polis, Chasjor, yes? Thank you for donating. Intruder, explain yourself or we will call security. You have, I will say, 5 minutes. Slow down, okay? Slow down. You don't want me to fail my mission here, okay? Okay, I'm here to help the Foundation. You guys have had some particularly sticky situations of recent, I am aware of. Some sorts of chaos that may have come to pass in the last month. Wait, is that SCP-055? Oh, you've heard of me. Nice to meet you too. Although sometimes I'm called SCP-600 by you people, or 960, or 57 something. You guys keep designating me as an anomaly and then forgetting I exist, and then designating me as another anomaly. You really need to work on your paperwork. I'm just saying. If he's nobody, he's really similar to Dr. Sherman. Listen, just to speed up this process, I am nobody. As far as 99% of the human population goes, I don't exist. Most of the time, I'm goddamned invisible, which isn't a great way to live, but hey, when you're in the spy game, it doesn't hurt. But sometimes when I am being perceived, I'm being perceived in ways that match the perceptions of the people doing the perceiving. I don't look like this normally, is what I'm saying. Like I told you, I was 15 minutes ago a woman when I walked in this door, so thankfully, all of your security guards are busy with a little false flag operation I planted. You may have seen some of the signal problems going on yesterday. That certainly helped. I hear that some of you heard my voice as I was planning. That was a weird bit of anomalous interference. I didn't mean to interrupt the stream yesterday. I apologize for that. Okay. All right, just let me check my notes here. What were they here for? Shedevre, I'm not any Sherman. I just look like him for a bit. Chaos Insurgent. Oh, great. Dealing with you guys again. Thank you for donating. I changed the TVs with 096's face. Good luck. Wait. No, that's too easy. No. Not 096. But something else. Jace, thank you for your, membership. Listen, Evil Sherman Twin, not who I am. What is your name? Nobody. We're past that. Although this is a stream, these will continue to have new people come in. I'm sure this will be a process. This is going to be a process, I understand. Where's Dr. Sherman? Oh, somewhere running around the site. All of security is acting as chickens with their heads cut off at this exact moment, which is exactly what I need. So are you chill or should we be on guard? You should help me if you have the capability. The Foundation is looking for something, and I'm looking for it too. The Chaos Insurgency broke into this site last month. They incapacitated your site director. I want to know what they were here for, what they got away with. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating to Question Again. Hat Sherman. Nobody is fine. What is your favorite animated movie on Netflix? My favorite animated movie on Netflix is Valley in the Wind. That's my most favorite. I'm not familiar very well with what's on the Netflix catalog. It changes so often, and so is my memory changeable. That's why I left notes. Chaz Dior, thank you for donating again. Listen, I got roped into hunting people with Dr. Clef. What a creep, and tricked into drinking 10K caffeine energy drink. I'm in no mood for games. That does sound intense. I've heard well about Agent Ukulele. I don't relish our interactions. Jenna, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. And Germa has escaped containment. Was Germa locked here at Site 42? Is that what the Chaos Insurgency was after? Chaz Dior, thank you for donating again. Okay, if you want our help, nobody, first you need to tell us why we should help him, then preferably how. Well, yes, I'm happy for your assistance. Val, I don't know what a fan art stream is, but I'm only going to be here for another 45 minutes. So that's my time window before... Well, okay. You guys were probably here. You probably witnessed what happened. So, the Chaos Insurgency raided the site. Now, how did they get in? They obviously debilitated your site director. That's what I have. What do you guys have when it comes to how that happened? Hey, nobody, what are your pronouns, if any? You can call me they, I guess. Just not it. I know your foundation's all about that, but I prefer not. The Chaos Insurgency had help from, I don't remember. I hope that's not because of me. It's very convenient to be an anti-memetic anomaly at times, and then it's very inconvenient when people forget things as soon as you're here. You better not possess our fella Sherman. I'm not possessing anyone. When you can't understand what you're looking at, you perceive something in its place, and apparently that's what you're seeing right now, and that's what I've turned into in the meantime. Perhaps a bit of him rubbed off on me when I bumped and took his security badge. He'll realize it's missing soon enough. Oh, here. Staff thought Dr. Sherman was an anomaly. He temporarily became a D class to do tests. Dude named Steve turned evil and took control of the site. Dr. Sherman was memory wiped. That's what I've got. All right, so who is this Steve? What's happening with... What do you mean a dude named Steve turned evil? Chazior, thank you for donating again. So that's why the lights turned off when I was stuck in the toilet. 10K energy drink explains multiple footsteps running down the hall. Well, yes, we had to play a little bit with the lights and the sirens to start a panic around here. That's what's giving me the time to do this. His best friend who took over his place by giving him amnestics. So Steve is... I don't understand that relationship or how that would help. Steve was Dr. Sherman's assistant, but turned on him for unknown reasons. Okay, assistant and friend, and turned on him. Steve was not Steve at the time. Steve was not Steve at the time. Okay. So, who was Steve at the time? And if who was Steve, how was Steve not Steve? Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman is chasing me after I stole Plan 42 Schneider from his safe to turn people into Schneiders. Schneiders is snake and spider fusion. I'm being mind controlled. Well, that does seem like a wonderful excess distraction. I appreciate your help in keeping them off my tail for a little longer. Steve didn't turn evil. He was possessed. Steve was Sherman's assistant, still is, but is in medical. Steve was inside. Inside? No. No, but... perhaps it wasn't Steve was inside. Perhaps something was inside Steve? Or someone? Okay, wait a minute. We can play with a contact. Okay. And my friend inside the CI. Agents. Double agents. Inside. I don't remember you guys' database. What anomaly is that? What number is it? What number is it? I lost half of my memory about the stuff from what happened. Help. Well, it's very... I thought you guys were pretty good about documenting and keeping notes. Ritter, you must be just getting to stream. I am not Dr. Sherman, okay? I just look like him for the time being. Mimetic effects and all. SCP-2719, perhaps. 2719. Codename inside. Okay. A variable, abstract, metaphysical construct pointer. Yes! This is what we're looking at. Chester Factory. Good work. And if I cross-reference that with the Chaos Insurgency's roster, yes, Agent Dobbs. Agent Dobbs infiltrated the SCP-279 containment site. Steve went inside. Steve became inside. Dobbs went inside. Steve went inside. Steve became inside. Dobbs went inside. That explains how Steve wasn't Steve at the time. And it doesn't specify where Steve was inside, but I guess when Dobbs left, Steve shunted back. This just proves how oblivious Dr. Sherman is. His damn twin bumped into him and he was like, no, whatever. Listen, you're gonna forget anyways, so it's fine. I don't look like anything. I am immemorable. Anti-mimetic, you guys call it. But that means that when I encounter someone, they perceive me in a way. Usually a mirror of their own thoughts and feelings. And sometimes things rub off. I walked into this site a woman. But then when I got Dr. Sherman's security badge, I bumped into him. You know, a good old little pickpocketing never hurt anyone. At least not when I did it. So no, I'm not an evil twin or anything like that. And I'll probably stop looking like Dr. Sherman soon after I leave this site. Chazyor, thank you for donating again. I apologize, but may someone bring you more... Not the time. Okay, so someone from the Chaos Insurgency utilized SCP-2719 to take over the site director's assistant, to depose the site director, leaving them open for a raid. So, why did they raid the site? The next question becomes, what did the Chaos Insurgency want? What kind of anomalies are contained here at Site 42? I know it's a transfer site. That's in the dossier. What kind of anomalies are permanently stationed here? Things they couldn't get unless they came here specifically. Avery, correct. I'm thinking they wanted to steal something. Nobody isn't learning about SCPs. You telling us about yourself, even though we may forget a cognitohazard. I mean, so many things in life are information, and all information can be hazardous in one way or another, can it not? I see there's also a Ko-Fi here. Okay, I've heard from one of my spies thinking from inside the CI that they didn't find what they were looking for. They said it may have been a different site. Chesta Factory, we have, first of all, I guess thank you for donating through the Ko-Fi. We have differing information then. I'm told that they were here for something very specific. Now, I don't know if they have it or not, but they knew what they were coming for. They played a long game to get to Steve and to get the site director deposed. They wouldn't do that for nothing. Chaz Yor, thank you for donating again. I suppose Dr. Sherman, but he is in a super position. Well, would they be able to utilize Dr. Sherman in a way? Is Dr. Sherman anomalous or not? I don't know. Scarlet, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Doing nice things to the Chaos Insurgency. We don't need nice things for the Chaos Insurgency. They're constantly trying to, well, sow chaos. They're a very violent bunch. I don't like working with them very much. But, you know, any port in a storm sometimes. Is there a way to kill the immortal lizard? Not in this timeline. Okay. Anomalies that are contained at Site 42. What do you guys have for me? Hey, nobody, what do you think about 729-J? I'm not familiar, but I can look at this terminal here. 29-J. Well, it seems that people in this documentation don't like it very much. Oh, it's certainly done a lot of, interesting things. Huh. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I didn't hurt them, I swear. Lying, I like chaos. Not exactly sure what you mean. Just a malfunctioning AI. I dropped my phone and the screen completely shattered. Fuck my life. Well, thank you for donating to tell us about your tragedy. Dr. Sherman is anomalous and not anomalous at the same time because he's a Florida man, which are anomalous, but he has no anomalous power or anything. Sounds very confusing. The gym look is at Site 42. The gym look. I'm not familiar with that anomaly. Do you know its designation number? Dark Duality, thank you for donating to this stream, and thank you for complimenting my hat, although I am not Dr. Sherman. Junior researcher Sally, you can't look for the Designation of the gym look. Okay. Does anyone know the designation of the anomaly known as the gym look? Chazjor, thank you for donating again. Okay, hear me out. What if the insurgency is not here for something permanently stationed here? Maybe something in current transfer, or you? Well, I wasn't here during the raid, so them coming after me is not very likely. The likelihood of it being a transfer is rather low. They've been planning this for a very long time, and I doubt they have transfer roster information accurate enough to pinpoint when to strike. 3302. 3302 is what you're talking about. Okay, this one is codenamed the Gym Look. Good work, G2. It's contained in a safe containment source logger 86 at Site 42's anomalous media wing. Testing suspended. A single DVD, specifically disc 1 of the season 1 of the US version of the television sitcom The Office. Notably, it is autographed by actor John Krasinski with dedication, "If all else fails, mug 30 degrees to either side." This is suspected to be a reference to a reaction colloquially known as the Gym Look, named for the character he portrayed on the show. 3302's anomalous properties manifest when being viewed by humans. From the point of the first Gym Look onward, viewers will uncontrollably recreate the Gym Look action every time they perceive a statement as unintelligent. This reaction will go unnoticed by the subject unless brought to their attention. Repeatedly brings this to their attention may cause non-anomalous emotional distress at their apparent lack of self-control. I can't imagine a cognitohazard that makes you perform the Gym Look would very well aid in the Chaos Insurgency's planning. Are there any other anomalies permanently stationed at Site 42 that could be of use to the insurgency, I guess? Their standard objectives are usually just... how to put it? Essentially, they both want to break the veil of anomalous secrecy, and they want to destroy the Foundation to do it. So, they might want something... likely, what they're trying to do is something that will cause a lot of trouble for the Foundation. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I won't hurt anyone again. I'm going to find 999343 so you can help calm me down. Some might say happy days. I'm finding you, mystery person. Well, I'm only going to be here for another 25 minutes, so otherwise I've got to get going. Chazjor, thank you for donating again. The raid could have been a bait. I don't know. Seems like a lot of resources to lose for a feint, especially when, to my knowledge, there wasn't another raid that day that this would be distracting from. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. No matter who you are, I always like a good hat. Well, thank you kindly. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I could be of use to the Chaos Insurgency. I'm immortal, slight reality bender, and I can teleport into different dimensions. If this helps anything. I don't want to help the Chaos Insurgency. I'm trying to help the Foundation right now. George the Chinchilla. What is George the Chinchilla? Is that an anomaly, or is that just an on-site pet? SCP-3086, George. Okay, thank you. What looks like Amber, Agatha, and Chestafactory. Let's take a look at this anomaly. Could this be of use to the Chaos Insurgency? Okay, it's an audio-only anomaly. Give me a second. All right. Access audio log.
Access audio log 1. Access granted. Begin log.
Mic check. All right. Notice, this information contains infohazardous and memetic materials and is classified to SCP-3086 staff only. Item number, SCP-3086. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. No text or images describing or regarding SCP-3086 are to be written, typed, or drawn. Any documentation must be dictated from memory, and no transcription is to be made of the audio post-recording. All researchers assigned to SCP-3086 are to dictate research notes into digital audio recording devices. One instance of SCP-3086 is to be kept on a laptop computer with internet hardware removed in a storage locker at Site-42. Contagion testing using multiple internet-capable laptops is permitted, provided that they take place within a Faraday cage, that all excess SCP-3086 instances are deleted post-testing, and that all internet-capable laptops are reset to factory default and switched off before exiting the cage. Testing with physical instances has been deemed no longer necessary. Fan fiction and fan art websites, especially those... Okay, I don't need all this detail. The possibility of sapience in SCP-3086 has been ruled unlikely. Although instances attempt to multiply, no signs of self-preservation such as covering the illustrator specifically intended to draw a picture of SCP-3086. Drawing talent does not seem to alter this effect. Hold on. By members of the furry community are to be monitored. The illustrator... No, there. Instances can be created by writing or typing its proper name, George the Chinchilla, as well as using first, second, or third person pronouns. Note, despite being named George, an instance will still be created when feminine pronouns are used. An instance of SCP-3086 can also be created in image form, provided that the illustrator specifically intended to draw a picture of SCP-3086. A living, self-replicating fictional character. This effect. Even poorly drawn stick figures can become an instance if they are drawn with intent to create a picture of SCP-3086. SCP-3086 can also be created accidentally, provided at least 7 descriptors match. Examples of matching descriptors: the name George, Chinchilla, anthropomorphic, digital, clumsy, best friend, jaunty. The odds of accidental creation of an instance by the public are extremely low. However, the furry community has a higher chance of creating instances and must be monitored closely. SCP-3086 instances can spread from their original text to new documents. In physical texts, this can be accomplished via paper-to-paper touch. If SCP-3086 is written on page 1 of a book, it will eventually be copied onto all attached pages. SCP-3086 is especially virulent online, with instances being able to travel from webpage to webpage via links on its original page. Once a text is infected by SCP-3086, the instance will proceed to radically alter the text and images surrounding them to conform to its narrative. Although slight variations occur, the standard narrative constructed by SCP-3086 aims to inform readers about the life of children's author/animator Saul Sislak, starting at his birth in Greenville, Illinois, and continuing the entirety of his life. All right, that seems to be all the information we're getting there. Wait a minute. I'm seeing a note about a test. Let's listen to the log. What was that? To be a real bastard from beyond the grave. Neighbors note large amount of liquor bottles around work desk. Cause of death, self-inflicted gunshot. Addendum 3086-D. Test proposal 3086-F. Researcher Evans has proposed testing copies of documents listed in Addendum 3086-C with SCP-3086. Test proposal 3086-F is currently under consideration.
Correction. Test proposal 3086-F has been approved. See SCP-3086-F test log.
End log. Access audio log 2. Access granted. Begin log.
Alert! Site 42 is currently undergoing a containment breach. This message has been declassified specifically to the Memetics and Info Hazards Division. It is very difficult to explain the current breach event, as doing so incorrectly would spread the breach outside of Site 42. Infection vectors related to our breach were initially text and image, but events during the latest test caused a memetic mutation event. Audio recordings and speech have also become active infection vectors. In the event of audio recording infection, all recordings on the device affected will have their audio altered to match similar narratives to those found in prior text and image infections. The effect it has on speech is especially virulent. There are currently several researchers infected and spreading the contagion across the site. They're trying to get into this office right now. Please send help. Repeat, please send more people to Site 42 to meet your best pal in the whole wide world, George the Chinchilla. I'm at the forefront of everyone's minds right now. Literally. I was in a real sad state to hear what happened to my pa. Good old Saul Sislak certainly didn't deserve to go out the way he did. That's okay, though, because I'm gonna buckle up my spats and give 110% to make sure everybody, whoever is or was, can't stop talking about the most magnificent maestro of naked magic, Saul Sislak.
End log.
Huh. All right, so walk with me. In this universe, this secondary log hasn't taken place. The documentation shows that so in this universe, George the Chinchilla has not performed that second level transformation. Okay, but if they could, that person who mentioned putting 096 on all the screens, yes, that's obviously the shy guy would cause anybody who saw the image to die, but that's just going to kill anyone who saw the picture. But it's not a self-replicatory attack. If they could get a weaponized 3086 into the SkipNet database, they might be able to infect all of the data in the SCP archives, as well as all of the staff members who read it or talked about it. Because as soon as they say that, hey, there's an entity, they would get captured by it. Yes, this could very clearly lead to the ruination of the SCP Foundation. And I don't think this is the right way for the balance of power to tip. Okay, I gotta think about this. Let me answer some donations while I let this ruminate. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. 999, I'm fine at the moment. I'm with 343 if you want to know. It's in containment cell for closer information. Also, I'm not helping Chaos Insurgency. They put me on amnestics for far too much. Well, I hope you're feeling better. OG Senator Minerva, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Hey, what about 271? Could this be of use? I don't know what 271 is, let alone if it could help in any sense with what we're dealing with. I don't see how this... I mean, more infectious information, but I don't know what that has to do with the current situation. It's not stored here. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I hate the CI. They have kidnapped me, sent me on multiple rampages that lead to minor casualties, and then they inject domestics into me. Yeah, they're not exactly the friendliest sorts, no. Chazyor, thank you for donating again. What sounds no good, but on the good news, I am free from the toilet. Yes, good for you. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Oof, the world have been chipmunked. Well, specifically chinchilla'd in that case. I am nobody, therefore this stream is my business. Does this broadcast to other universes? There's not normally more than one of me at a time. You guys are playing some strange games at the Foundation. Wait, you got a point, dear 343. Wait a minute. And if the Chaos Insurgency were to release that same weaponized iteration of George up to the mind taking over speech, and then it got broadcast multi-universally, this could be the end of everything. This is incredibly dangerous. I don't even think they know what they're doing. In trying to take down the Foundation, they might just destroy everyone. All right. SCP-3086 at Site 42, containment status. It says the door was opened twice. Once during the containment breach a month ago, and once afterwards, probably the Foundation security checking in to make sure the anomaly was still there. But it doesn't matter if the iteration of SCP-3086 was there after they left, because it's a fictional character that can be created just by knowing about it. So they didn't actually need to take it. Chazyor, thank you for donating again. We will not let that happen. Time to get ready, guys. (051) SCP-055 is finding out something you really should know of. You need to tell your staff what's going on, what we've discovered here. Because if they do not, if that sect of the Chaos Insurgency manages to transmit this anomaly to another group, there's still time to stop them if they haven't called it in. If they haven't documented it, if they haven't passed it on to their higher staff, you can still stop them. When your boss gets back, you're going to need to inform him of this, and you're going to need to mobilize forces. Listen, I'm sorry I can't help you further than this. There is Only so much a guy like me can do to change. Well, I can't really change anything. After all, I am nobody. I gave you the information you needed, but you guys are going to have to take it and run with it. By higher staff, do you mean the engineer commander among the Chaos Insurgency? Either. Either one. Because either one of them can disseminate the information to the other sects. And once they have spread the knowledge of George the Chinchilla, I mean, I could, if I wanted to, just draw that jaunty teal chinchilla and make it come to life if I wanted to. And so if they spread the information around, then anyone can make it. By the way, nobody, the heck you drinking? It kind of looks like a beer bottle. Wait, you can draw something, make come to life. What the hell? Well, first of all, this seems to be a can of root beer that was present. You get thirsty. But secondly, no, I can't draw things and bring them to life. That's not part of my anomalous abilities, you call them. No. Anyone can draw SCP-3086 and bring it to life. Anyone can write a story about George the Chinchilla, and the character will come to life and take over the page, and then replicate 2 pages you touch it to. And if that spreads to the point where talking about George the Chinchilla infects your mind with it, and then anyone else you tell about it, then talking about it causes them to become infected, everyone on Earth will just be meat suits piloted by a tiny teal chinchilla in their head. All right, it looks like, based on security here, I have about 8 to 12 minutes before I'm going to have to start making my way out of here. So, listen, is there anything else you need me to answer so you can tell your authorities to solve the problem? Wait, what did I miss? To summarize, A, I am not Dr. Sherman. I am nobody, but I look like him because I bumped into him. So, B, yesterday's interference was me causing a false flag operation here in the site to cause a little chaos so I can come in and investigate matters myself. I guess your Steve was taken over utilizing SCP-2719 in order to debilitate the site director and cause that containment breach a month ago. And they were after SCP-3086 George the Chinchilla because they think they can take down the SCP archive by filling it up with self-replicating copies of George the Chinchilla. But if they level it up the way that it is in the document right now in that other universe, then it will start taking over people's minds. And because you guys broadcast multiversally, it won't just overtake our world, it will overtake all the worlds in the universes you broadcast to. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Possessed by a tune. Oh, hell nah. Why'd it have to be tunes? Chazior, thank you for donating again. What should be our cover story, as in how we know what the hell the insurgency is doing? We should tell them that about nobody telling us? Oh, yes. Feel free to tell the Foundation that I was here. I'll be long gone by the time they're here anyways. It won't bother me. And we have a shaky relationship. They know that I'll work with them for the right opportunities, and this one, people need our help. So yeah, they'll listen. Tell them nobody was here. Bishop, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Still waiting for my check-in. I'm not happy. I think that's something your Dr. Sherman is going to have to chat with you about. I don't know what your deal is. This trash person, are you trying to start a contagion of SCP-3086 on the chat? If I'm not wrong, at least in this one phase within range of the desk, you are protected from such things. But if it gets live on the database and comes to other sites, they won't have that same luxury. You're safe for now, but you're not safe forever. And all it would take is a bunch of people infected with SCP-3086 to pull a 1609 on the desk, and then you wouldn't have that protection anymore. So, make sure that doesn't happen. You guys need to get to the Chaos Insurgency, and essentially, violence is the answer. If any knowledge of that anomaly gets out of that sect of the Chaos Insurgents, then everything's going to go wrong. Bishop, thank you for donating again. It's been 2 months since I handed myself over. Come on, man, don't make me release the Immortal Lizard. I'm not your Dr. Sherman. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say I was going to wood chip the desk. I'm saying it would be that easy to disable the desk if need be. And they might think it need be. Nobody. Can the Scarlet King get infected? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if a self-replicating fictional entity can infect your mind by talking about it. Then what's to stop any otherworldly being from being infected by it? I'm not sure, but I'm not sure I want to find out either. SCP-999, your innocence is cute, but violence can very often be the answer, unfortunately. Can you make the tree scream? I don't know what you're talking about. Dr. Frogman, am I supposed to know who this Francis is? I apologize. My memory can be rather foggy. That's why I have to leave so many notes around. So wait, if you're here, where's Dr. Sherman? Running around with security right now, although he doesn't have his security badge, so he'll be missing it and coming here soon. Oh, Dr. Frogman, I see. Well, this all depends on your timeline. As far as I know, I'm not to this iteration of myself yet. Now, Mission Space, thank you for subscribing to help us solve this mystery. Okay. Dr. Frogman, 5555 is a nobody origin story. A. Remember, it's you guys who coined this whole there is no canon situation. But enough about that. Listen, I think you guys know what you've got to do. And I know what I've got to do, which is I've got to get out of here before the Foundation finds me here. So I'm going to be making my way out now. You guys, I guess do what you always do. Secure, contain, and protect. I'm sure your doctor will be seeing you in the next stream. Farewell. If someone stood up in a crowd and raised his voice up way out loud and waved his arm and shook his leg, you'd notice him. If someone in the movie show yelled fire in the second row, this whole place is a powder keg, you'd notice him. And even without clucking like a hen, everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that person should be invisible, inconsequential. Me. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name. Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. Chester Factory, thank you for a last-minute donation to the Ko-Fi. Mobilizing an attack force, the director of Site 238 agrees that we need to take immediate action. Well, good luck with that. Furthermore, credit song was Mr. Cellophane from the musical Chicago. Good luck, Foundation staff. You're going to need it.